This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm joined by the Romford Bull, who's back Saturday night for his fourth fight at the O2. Johnny, how you doing?
Good, thanks, John. Good to see you, mate. I'll just give a quick shout out to Mother.
Let me pan down.
They're one of my new sponsors, sponsored by Ollie Harris. Good part of my team, so thanks very much, mate. Looking to the rep room all the way.
I mean, let's start there. How important are your sponsors at this stage of your career? Straight out of uni, straight into pro boxing, this is what you need.
It's really, really important. Listen, if you didn't have the sponsors, it'd be very difficult at the stage I'm at the minute. But I'm very lucky where I'm from. I've got a lot of local support from Essex businesses. I've got well over 20 sponsors, which is really important. And it's great, but we're all one team, we're all one unit. We meet up a couple of times a year. And it's good, we build a good relationship together, and I don't want them just to think they're sponsors and they're not part of the bigger picture. They're all part of the team, they're all part of the Romford Bull and the team that's moving forward.
There's many members of the Romford Bull, all over 1,000 of them coming on Saturday night. How have you managed to sell so many tickets? Is it just uni mates, local people?
Yeah, well, I went to university at Exeter, obviously. I've boxed a few times down there. People were impressed with that. And obviously, I've got two brothers as well who've got a lot of mates. My dad is quite a well-known figure as well, as you probably know. But listen, it's just people. I've been genuine to people, and people where I live and where I'm from, the people I know are all genuine people as well. And they get behind people. If they're trying to do something good or trying to improve themselves, then they'll get behind you.
I mean, it's going to be great for you fighting in front of such a big crowd. Fight camp, you had a few people, but this is next level.
Yeah, this is another challenge in itself on Saturday. That's another challenge I've got to overcome. I know I'm a complete novice in this game, and I'm taking every step, one step at a time. I'm improving with every step, and when I get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fights, then the picture changes again. So I've just got to keep going, keep chugging along, and one step at a time.
I think the first couple of rounds, given that is the key to this is composure, given the fact you're going to have a rowdy fan base, is it going to be some of that, or is it just sort of tunnel vision? You think you'll be alright with it?
I think I'll be alright. I think my last fight I showed a little bit more composure. I can still be more composed, but I'm better when I don't rush my work. I know I want to kill, I want to get in there, and I want to do damage, but I'll do better damage when I'm at distance, when I throw my shots from a proper distance and go to do calculated work rather than rush work. And that's something we've been working on.
Let's back up with Johnny Fisher. Yeah, just talking about your opponent, he's quite experienced, he's fought Sol Dakers. Sort of the right opponent, it seems, at the right time.
Yeah, listen, he's very tough, he's strong, and he throws back. When you unload on him, he throws back, so I've got to be ready. He's very strong, he's very experienced in a way. He's had 18 fights, I've had 4, so it's going to be tough. But these are the sort of people I've got to be beating at this stage, and with what we've been working on, I should be able to.
Let's talk about some of the sparring you've had. Obviously, Tyson Fury called into the camp for the Wilder fight. Just talk to me how that even came about.
Just he messaged my former manager Sam Jones and spoke to him. Me and Sam are still very close. We're good friends and we talk a lot. But for that, his relationships that he had with Tyson obviously knew who I was and asked to draft me in. I gave a bit of that physicality he was asking for. So he was impressed with how it went, and he wants me back moving forward as well.
Oh, great. How did you find it in there? I mean, you're sparring most people think now the #1 heavyweight in the world. What did you learn from that experience? Did anything surprise you?
Just it's little things that you can pick up. The footwork, his relationship with Sugar Hill, picked up a lot of stuff from him as well. And just the main thing I took away from Fury is very, very humble man. Like, he's the best boxer on the planet, the best heavyweight on the planet, one of the best ever now. And the way he carried himself with such humility, and he was friendly to all the sparring partners, had time for us all. Just if I was ever got to a stage where I could be a champion like that, I want to be like Tyson Fury because he's such a down-to-earth man.
Did he give you any advice sort of off camera about sort of your first few fights and what to expect?
Him and John Fury did. John Fury, his dad. So don't rush. What rush have you got? 22 years old. We've got other prospects coming up, but they're like 25, 26, 27, a lot of them. I'm 22. And I haven't boxed for very long at all really as an amateur. Well, I've turned pro less than a year ago, or about a year ago. My first pro fight was in February, so I've got no rush. But I'm in a good position, and I've got to be thankful and grateful for the position I'm in. But it doesn't mean it's to go faster than anyone else. And the right test at the right time will progress me properly.
That's a bit of history as well, preparing for what we saw, one of the best fights ever. Did you expect it to go like that?
Unbelievable. I knew Wilder would up his game because he's got that warrior mentality as well, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for the way he carried himself and didn't give up at all in that fight, went out on his shield. But what an exciting fight. I didn't think it'd be that exciting. I was expecting it either to go to Fury early on, or it's going to be a little bit stickier, but I didn't think it'd be like that. But it's just a great entertaining fight to watch. Great for boxing, great for heavyweight boxing.
If you get the win Saturday, do you want to get out again? There's a few cards towards the end of the year. Is that you done if you win?
There's a few coming out. It's up to Eddie Hearn and SJM Boxing to see what the right path is for me. One thing I do know, I've got a great man behind me in Adam Morley, who's the other part of SJM Boxing. I know Sam is the other part, but Adam's a really, really key part as well. And he's a very, very clever, very astute man, very caring man, and you wouldn't want anyone better than him deciding what your future's going to be like. So I'm very grateful for his help.
Yeah, just want to touch on that. Obviously, Sam Jones has moved on to Probellum. He always seemed to me more than just a manager. He seemed like a friend, and he helped you obviously for your first few fights. Always talks about his fighters whenever he can, and he really promotes you guys. Just some comments on that, and I know you'll stay friends.
Listen, Sam was my friend before he was my manager. He took me on as a sparring partner for Joe Joyce when I literally had no amateur fights. I had nothing. I was just more raw than I am now. And we became mates in Vegas and just we're friends before more than anything. So when he was my manager, he was like a promoter as well because he's emotionally invested, and he always will be emotionally invested because we're friends. I can't, because he's not my manager anymore, it doesn't mean I can't be his friend and talk to him. I'm always going to be like, and he's always going to be with me all throughout my journey because he is my mate before anything else.
Actually, just one final one. I actually remember, was it last week you offered to fight Otto Wallin at short notice? Just talk to me why you wanted that fight right now.
Because I'd rather fight Otto Wallin than refund 1,200 tickets because that would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not only for me but for my dad as well. But I've got nothing to lose fighting Otto Wallin. If looking back in hindsight, he'd never take it because he's got nothing to gain out of it. If he beats me, it's like, he expected to beat him anyway. But if he does beat me and I look a little bit good or give him a bit of trouble, then it damages his credibility. So he was never really going to take it. But in hindsight, when I was thinking like that, I wanted to fight and I didn't want to let my supporters down. So I put my supporters before anything else.
All right, Johnny, best of luck Saturday night and look forward to seeing your full fight.
Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.